Very hopeful. Very hopeful for this. Everything is lagging. Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Poetry Live on April 29th, 2023. 2 days left in National Poetry Month. And happy birthday to Klaus Foreman. He's 85 years old today. Klaus. Hashtag 100 portraits of Klaus Foreman. I dare you to find that. And my Klaus mug with the scribbly portrait I drew while subbing in a high school art class last November. I think it was November. And maybe it was October. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm trying to I'm really very hopeful for this broadcast because it's lagging, as I said it. So now I'm all, but what we're going to do is we're going to plunge right in to the weird work of the day. Let your curling peel of life never end, please, aged one of luminous smile. Once uncertain in your beauty, deep beauty of you and music and fullness of lip, hair of the lunatic sleepwalker, but gentle, how gentle and careful and blinding in melody's spark. Happy birthday, Klaus. It's for you. I assume you're watching. I assume you're one of my 8 viewers. Thanks, Klaus. I knew I could count on you. And I have some other Klaus poems that I may or may not read today because there's a lot. I think I will, but let's move forward with the beautiful words. Poem. That doctor. All the oh no, anger. I'm sure you didn't hear that. I'm sure that finger straying from this screen again. Euphoria. Rain song blurred a soft and muffled Friday morning in euphoria of oatmeal, in talk of ghosts and composers, novelists in dreamy repose. Euphoria, the beautiful word I drew yesterday for today's poem. I was actually having a discussion with a woman that I worked with at the library yesterday morning. And it was about a novel whose name I can't remember, whose author I can't remember. However, about a ghost who meets Chopin and George Sand. So compelled. Actually, I've checked it out I checked out the ebook like on the spot. So I'll tell you the title tomorrow if I remember. If I don't, I already have my hand on a beautiful word for tomorrow. Should I drop it and try again? I don't know. Tomorrow is the last day of National Poetry Month. I feel like everything is at stake here. No, I'm gonna hang on to it. Paradox. Paradox is a beautiful word on both levels, on meaning and on and also like sound, but also visually. I love an X. I love an ARA. Oh, I should tell my sister I love an ARA. It's in her name. Anyhow, so that was today's beautiful word poem, and tomorrow's beautiful word for the final day of National Poetry Month will be paradox, and so I'll get going on that in just a little bit. Meanwhile, it's Klaus Foreman's birthday, so I've dug out my old block that I made of him maybe a year or two ago. I lose track of 2021 and 2022. I can't remember what I did when, but this is based on a sort of photo from, the Beatles days and stuff. But I made him a hat on which I will sort of collage whatever phrase I pull out of the poetry hats, can. And I did start that document so we can have an ebook, hopefully in the next couple of days. No, not final, because there will be one tomorrow. Got all like a day ahead, like on beautiful words. No. Next to last, penultimate phrase for poetry hats is the specter of your mother can go fly a kite. No baggage whatsoever. Bless. God be the glory, great things he has done. All right. I want to say that last National Poetry Month, I was reading through my breakfast poetry of what's it called? Maple syrup collides with Dale Cooper quote. And I found these earrings at Target, and one is like a coffee pot and one's a donut. And I wear them sometimes, but they don't show up very well. So I really just wanted to showcase them because it's Breakfast Poetry Live. And I love both of these food and beverage items. Okay. I'll try not to be too cruddy in my throat. And we will go forward with I Can't Stop with Edna St. Vincent Millay in my spare time. And so I'm going to read this poem called Departure. I believe it was written 1921 or 1923. And trigger warning because despair. Okay. Possible suicidal thoughts. Departure. It's little I care what path I take and where it leads. It's little I care. But out of this house, lest my heart break, I must go and off somewhere. It's little I know what's in my heart, what's in my mind. It's little I know. But there's that in me, must up and start, and it's little I care where my feet go. I wish I could walk for a day and a night and find me at dawn in a desolate place with never the rut of a road in sight, nor of a house, nor the eyes of a face. I wish I could walk till my blood should spout and drop me never to stir again on a shore that is wide, for the tide is out, and the weedy rocks are bare to the rain. But dump or dock, where the path I take brings up, it's little enough I care, and it's little I'd mind the fuss they'll make, huddled dead in a ditch somewhere. Is something the matter, dear, she said, that you sit at your work so silently? No, mother, no, 'twas a knot in my thread. There goes the kettle, I'll make the tea. Despair. Not reflective of anything I'm feeling. It is honestly, I love her repetition, both within lines. In this one, it's less so within lines than the recurring "it's little I care" phrase. But I just thought that was such a striking poem with all that is going on silently in her mind. And her mother notices she's quiet, but she will not let on that there are all of these stormy thoughts brewing. And but I just, maybe I should have read a cheerier one. But she's got a lot of sort of like lovelorn poems. And I mean, Edna St. Vincent Millay was very much, from what I've read, she was beautiful and she was vibrant and very intelligent and very much like, dallied, with men and stuff like that, if we can use the, Archie Goodwin phrase. But anyway, so, but her poetry tells that she stops and thinks about these loves and felt things deeply in her day. So anyway, I really love her rhyme and her repetition. And I think she's just a genius with like form. I don't know that she invented them, but she sure does put the story together well within the framework. So Edna St. Vincent Millay, look, you know what? If I can get in, I'm a fan of those poems, but I do have to own a document do that. Gonna set the word. Let's move forward to found this when I was working at the library yesterday. This is called A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It is Mr. Rogers. It's the poetry of Mr. Rogers. And so I'm just gonna read one. I don't know which one I'm gonna read. It's fun. You can never go down the drain. Oh my goodness. That's what we're reading. Was anybody else ever afraid of going down the drain? I was afraid of everything. Name it. And at one point in my life, I was afraid of it, and maybe I still am. This is not one. I'm not afraid of this anymore. You can never go down the drain. You can never go down. Can never go down. Can never go down the drain. You're bigger than the water. You're bigger than the soap. You're much bigger than all the bubbles. So you see, you can never go down. Can never go down. Can never go down the drain. And the last part is drain-shaped, swirly. So I hope you can see it. Yeah, I think you kind of can. So Mr. Rogers has poetry, and that just makes me happy. So happy. That's a good contrast, I think, to Edna St. Vincent Millay. Erring in Circles is a back to despair. This is a work of poetry that I have done that is available on Amazon.com. I will totally put that link in the comments like I did yesterday if you want to load up with the impending ending of National Poetry Month. You might just want to load up on poetry. You'll notice that on YouTube, I did finally do a montage with music of the poetical bingo cards. So you'll have that. So even though National Poetry Month has ended, you do not need to stop celebrating poetry. You can read poetry. You can write poetry. You can find inspiration in poetical bingo. Yes, you can. Airing in Circles has like 3 sections. And the first section is, hot damn, my father's death. That's fun, right? Not really. It was a grief time. Second, because he was a wonderful man. A wonderful man. Made me like a caring and trusting person and things like that. What else? Oh, and musical. I have his Farfisa organ. Made us take music. Oh, you can't quit piano lessons, girl. You'll thank me one day. Thankfully, I was able to thank him before he left us. The second section is my kid dropping out of high school and writing the last 17 morning drives, poetry about that, driving him to school. He is educating himself. He is doing something online now. Not that I have to explain that, but you know, he just, what they used to say in our day was he marches to a different drummer. But he's going to be fine. The last section, if I may just state a blessing, not because, anyway, not boastfully, but more like, finally, a place to showcase the pizza box nudes that I have fashioned over time. Pizza boxes, with tasteful nudes inside. I can't open it so I can see it or put it in. There we go. So go get you some pizza box nudes, if nothing else, from Airing in Circles. If you don't want the rest of it, that right there might be the part of it that's for you. Okie dokie. I'm going to read a few poems if I can maintain my voice. I marked some, and now I got to decide which one. Well, here's the high school dropout one, right? In 6 days, my son will be a high school dropout, not to languish, not to impress Radiohead, not for arson or badassery, but to flourish in his art, to discover freely, to educate himself endlessly, to make attempts and find mentors to blaze the wandering trail that sings and calls and fits. He was born at the end of September, and the next day was the first cold day of a long, cold season of weather. He filled and warmed my longing arms, fulfilling a steadily woven dream whose labor of artistry spanned 3 decades. I held him, and truths bloomed, filling the room. Ancestors called, sang, and dropped tears through millennia, and I became solid, real, and could finally calm down. Holding him, I gazed out the window on cold morning century-old bungalows, this view now obscured by a parking garage. You may no longer cherish this view with physical eyes. Imagine them snowy, called up futures, fat marshmallowed cocoa cups by warm kitchen stove. Had I guessed in that fat marshmallowed reverie, had the nurses right then brought on silver tray a fortune cookie with the headline, High School Dropout. So what? So glorious. A new artist landed in my arms with eyes for fantastical landscapes and fascinations for theologies, a dismisser of all romantic entanglements, creating deep, ornamented worlds of story, and no miracle falls wayward in new life guiding when the path shifts. The end of number 15 from 17 Morning Drives. It's more than 17 poems because sometimes I wrote more than one. Pardon, in reflecting on the days. Oh, here's one from Trigger warning, grief. After my father died, I didn't walk, but smoked instead. My grief away. He's gone. His teeth don't matter. Worn away. Gone to stay. Done. Don't bake. Go nowhere. Coffee. Let you spice the air. Silent, seated, striped chair. Still, slow motion. Brush your hair. Dad burial, 1 p.m. So that was the little of the day. But we made it, and we had a lot to be grateful for after it. I will read the second half of a poem where my son hated the high school that he went to, that also went to. I think times have changed. Anywho, my choir ghost sings down the red brick corridor of the music wing. Listen for my choir ghost, I urge my son. He hates it there. He knits no choir ghost of his own. School has always been his enemy, he assures me. It is nothing personal. His generation is either overcome with electronica, nervous systems circuited with minute blipping lights and nano things, or are calling out our many institutions as bullplop. I am curious to see which it will be. In 17 days, he will exit Truman High School, never to return more, exeunt on the verge of sophomore Christmas to stride into life capable and violently shudder free of the useless. He selects his artist name in quest of anonymous storytelling. That's my boy. All right. Oh, Airing in Circles. I just tossed it aside. airing in circles, very much from the guts. Dig in there. All right. That's all I can say. That might be all. That might be all. Poetry bingo montage is up. Papyrus author poetry has begun. Tomorrow's word, I've already lost it. Paradox, it's right there. And Klaus Foreman's birthday hat with tinsel on it. I was busy last night making Klaus Foreman collage birthday spectacular. So you're not going to want to miss that. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. I think we got enough stuff. And tomorrow is the last day of National Poetry Month. Has it been a wild ride? I won't start that. For like, and you're just sitting here looking your face and hitting the button and going, geez, at some point, because here we are again. Stuff ever possible that well,